Testing.
Bye, Mindy.
Sangeeta and
Yeah, and then the one that I downloaded on was on my.
I just texted Sean to see if he could hear. He's going to text me back. Okay. Or is there a thumbs up that they can hear you? Oh, they can hear us. Okay, we're good. Can you press record?
Okay, good evening. We are going to call the Integrated Waste Management Local Area Task Force regular meeting for December 8th, 2025 to order. It is 6:03. And currently, sorry, just one sec, I flipped the wrong way. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely does. And let us begin. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Aranda.
here.
Supervisor Curro.
Here.
Councilmember Morales. Absent.
And with that, we do have a quorum. So can I get an acknowledgement of certificate of posting?
The agenda was posted on December 5th at 4:45 p.m.
Okay, approval of the certificate of posting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's a 2-0 vote. Okay, now let's go to approval of minutes. Did we have minutes on this one? I didn't see the minutes, I'm sorry.
Yes, we do have minutes.
Is there a copy I could possibly have? Did anybody bring a copy? Can we hold that till next meeting? I really would like to review it. My apologies.
So you want to make the action to table it?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to table that till the next regularly scheduled meeting. You second that?
I will second that motion.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry about that. I left my tablet at home or in the car.
Yeah, I think sorry to interrupt.
Yep,
I think
go
what
right
it was is, well, it's the meeting, so I think we've asked for everything to be posted in the calendar invite, so it can be found there too.
Okay,
But
that's great.
for future reference.
That's great. Okay, any staff announcements?
Yes, I'd like to call up Lori Tankersley, our Staff Services Specialist for Integrated Waste Management.
We have the announcements. Can we get the presentation up? Or the crowdfunding? Is that mine? Oh, I was.
Okay, I'll give a couple announcements. So just a few grant funding updates. The CCPP application for fiscal year 25-26 was submitted on October 17th of this year. A big thank you to Frankie for putting that together. And our SB 1383 local assistance grant, the term was extended from April 1st, 2026 to November 2nd, 2026. So this is great news for the regional agency. We were awarded close to a little over 260,000 in funding, and we've spent about maybe 30,000 to date of that. It was originally budgeted to fund a recycling coordinator for SB 1383 compliance, as well as a position at the food bank. So right now the county has an MOU with the food bank. It has been unfilled for several months now. This is the second occurrence that it's been unfilled, filled twice, and we're going to be working with them later this month on filling that position.
Thank you. So on to our past events. We attended the Hollister Farmers Market once a month with a different program or event of focus. On average, we engaged with approximately 40 residents per event. For the last 2 events, we distributed a total of 30 food scrap pails, 48 LED light bulbs, and 5 mailback sharps containers. On September 20th, we hosted a community cleanup in recognition of Coastal Cleanup Day at Hollister High School. We teamed up with Cheer, RJR Recycling, and amazing community volunteers and removed over 10,000 pounds of litter out of the riverbed and surrounding area. On December 6th, we hosted a community cleanup at Hollister Super. We had 2 volunteers and still collected 350 pounds of litter. We have continued hosting compost workshops at the county's Resource Management Agency office. These workshops have been funded by using the SB 1383 Local Assistance Grant Funds. We have had steady attendance at these workshops, typically 4 to 8 attendees. Our monthly household hazardous waste collection events also continue with steady attendance, averaging over 80 attendees per event. On September 27th and 28th, we had our quarterly bulky item event at the John Smith landfill, which had about 300 attendees with 22.89 tons recycled and 48.31 tons of material disposed of. This event saw a higher amount of material disposed of because, as a courtesy once a year, we allow residents who mix regular waste with their bulky items to enter for free. For these events, we do ask that residents make separate trips to the landfill if needed, as bulky items must be dropped off on their own. And we hosted our Recycle Day event on November 22nd, where residents were able to dispose of household hazardous waste, electronic waste, mattresses, and tires. We had 180 participants, which was a 40% increase from our August event. Additionally, we distributed 100 LED light bulbs. On to our upcoming events. We have our last compost workshop of the year, which will be on December 13th at the RMA offices, starting at 10 a.m., and it will be on vermicomposting. Additional events include our quarterly bulky item event on December 13th and 14th, and our monthly household hazardous waste event on every 3rd Saturday of the month. We would love to get your support on helping us spread the word about these events, and we thank you for attending our past events. And then on to our school and youth outreach updates. To date, 22 Save the Whales presentations have been delivered at local schools, with 3 additional presentations already scheduled for next year. A special thank you to Recology for their continued support in making these educational opportunities available to students throughout San Benito County. Scheduling for Eco Hero assemblies for the spring semester is underway. We currently have 4 assemblies confirmed, and interest continues to grow as more schools reach out to participate. In October, IWM and Recology participated in the Special Heroes Carnival, where we shared information about our recycling programs and hosted several recycling and waste reduction games for attendees. In November, IWM and Recology also attended the San Benito County Office of Education Health Fair at Tres Pinos School. We provided brief recycling presentations for students on proper waste sorting and why it is important. then provided them with complimentary interactive waste reduction games and handouts. Now, I would like to welcome up Frankie Sanchez, our legal dumping coordinator.
Thank you, Lori. Good evening, LTF members. My name is Frankie Sanchez, here just to give a few illegal dumping program updates. For quarter 4, 2025, we had 25 total reports, and one more came in since I drafted this. 2 in Hollister, it was just a mattress and a few trash bags. 23 in San Benito County, ranging from RVs to vehicles to couches, bulky items, water heaters, all kinds of stuff. But they've all been picked up, so staying on top of those. We've also been continuing the multifamily dwelling bulky item collection pilot. Last one we did was at the Rancho Park Apartments. We had 18 bulky items collected, and it was a very successful event in my eyes. The property manager, we're actually working with her on 2 of her other properties in town. Those are set for sometime in January. We wanted to shoot for December, but the surveys that we got back kind of said that people are out of town or a little bit busy for the holidays, so she decided to offer the service a little bit after that. And then on top of that, ongoing as well is the cart hanger distribution to promote the bulky item collection through Ecology. Last one we did was out in San Juan. We finished the rest of the route, so all the single family homes in San Juan received one of the flyers there. But it was on Halloween, so we dressed up as minions and we were walking around town. It was very fun. People pointing us out and laughing at us. It was a good time. Don't know what we're going to dress up as next year, but if you have any ideas, let us know. Yeah, I believe that was all I had for you guys, and I'll call up Catherine or Selena. Yeah, thank you.
So we heard the Minions caused a ruckus in San Juan Bautista on Halloween.
I loved it.
Okay, great. At the last minute, I had to send a warning to Roy because we knew that the city was going to get a bunch of phone calls.
Yeah.
You should hear Frankie. He said they were walking down the street and that some kids were in the car waiting for their mom. They're like, Minions, Mom, there goes a and so we know we've got to do this again. So we're going to ask you and the people out there that are watching this to please go on our social media. There is a great video there. Let us know what you think. And what we didn't tell you is that we also, I don't know if you've watched our commercials for Recycle Day. We had some commercials on KSBW. Did you notice those?
Yes.
Yes, they were really good.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Please keep spreading the word.
I recorded one of them because I wanted to send it to one of you guys and be like, oh, I didn't know you guys were doing this. This is, it was fantastic.
At the November Recycle Day, we just had a cameraman come out and get real footage. So the next commercial will be footage from our Recycle Day on November 22nd.
Oh, that's great.
So can we have the presentation back up again? Thank you. All right. So now we're going to go on to the non-exclusive franchise. This is the first time that I'm presenting these numbers at the local task force because we've been working on building this program up, and it is in a great position. We went from having a non-exclusive franchise agreement to having a non-exclusive franchise permit. And so I just wanted to give you guys an update for the non-exclusive franchise. So Recology has the exclusive franchise, right? And there's certain mandatory service areas, but they do not hold exclusivity for roll-offs. And they also, anybody can choose in the discretionary area. They can choose any hauler. And so that's where we have our NEAF haulers, because you cannot haul in the county of San Benito or the 2 cities unless you have a non-exclusive franchise permit. Right. And so so the NEAF fees for the regional agency members is the city of Hollister charges 5% of gross receipts. And the city of San Bautista charges 10% of gross receipts for residential and 15% for commercial. And then the county of San Benito, we charge 5% of gross receipts for all of the hauling for our haulers. And so in Q1, for the city of Hollister, as you can see, there's Q1, 2, and 3. To date, we have collected $23,037.80 for the city of Hollister. And for the city of San Bautista, to date, we've collected $3,506.63. We still have Q4 to go. And the County of San Benito, we have so far collected $37,463.03. And so we're really proud of this, really proud of it.
Is this a real, not to interrupt, but is this a real increase from where you were just a year ago on these? Because you guys have been working on this very hard.
Yes, because right here is, I wanted to show you our approved haulers.
Kind of hard to read, sorry.
I know it is. I can send it to you.
Okay, that'd be
also.
great.
But I wanted to put it up there. And so we had 9 permitted haulers a year ago, and now we have 13 permitted haulers, right? And so, and we're getting these through C&D, like we have some developments who want to use their own company where they come from and from another county. And we're like, you can't come in here and haul without getting a permit and a business license.
Is that something we could put in a social media post to be able to advertise?
Do whatever you want, Supervisor
if,
Curl.
I would really like that only because I think it's going to educate the community, but at the same time inform them who they can contact for services.
Yes. And we want that. We want to promote our haulers as much as possible because these 13 haulers are doing the right thing.
Right.
And we're out there looking. I'm working with code enforcement. I'm just going to, as my Christmas wish list, if we could have a code enforcement officer for integrated waste management, thank you. Because it would be easier for us. But we're going after these, they put up signs, yard signs that say, roll off rentals and no, we're getting those picked up and we're calling them, and we've gotten a couple of haulers that way where we've said, no, you've got to become legitimate. And they're more than happy to do that. We still, there's some parameters we have to look at to make sure of what they're doing. I've gone, to make sure that they really need a NEEF permit. I've also gone to the landfill, which I need to do again, and I've stood out there and I'm handing out event flyers, but that's not why I'm there. And so,
Very sly.
yeah, well, we try, it's like, you can't do business in our community unless you got to play by the rules and the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So then we have, unless you don't have any questions, I'm going to give that back to you.
You have any questions?
Yeah, actually, I do have questions, not in regards to this, but just back a few slides. It was the one where you guys were doing events, and I noticed that you said you've been attending the farmers market in Hollister, which I think is great. I attended one of those farmer markets events, and I did see you guys out there, so thank you for that. However, since I represent the city of San Juan Bautista, we have recently started doing our own farmers markets in Chapito's Garden in downtown on 3rd. And if it's possible, maybe for next year, I would love to see you guys show up for maybe 1 or 2 of those farmer markets events, just for little old San Juan Bautista, so we get some love. I know we're not that big, but I love when I see the local task force out in Hollister, but I would love to see you guys in San Juan as well.
And we like going to San Juan and seeing you all too.
Who doesn't? But thank you. Other than that, great job.
Thank you.
No further questions.
Yeah, I really appreciate the statistical numbers. I know if Councilmember Morales was here, that was one of the things that was highlighted, that we need more numbers. The only suggestion that I would have, because I want to be able to, in the future, if you could email me that summary, because I'm going to highlight a couple of your really good things with the Board of Supervisors. So if in your future presentations on just stats, show us some of those stats so that we can report out the good work that you guys are doing.
So did you want to, this is in the PowerPoint presentation, but did you want us to take
But there
this
was
out?
no stats on the PowerPoint. If you go back, you verbally said some of the things. You have some of them, but not all of them. There was one that was 40% increase. I took a note here. It was it was a 40.
Okay, for Recycle Day.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. It was 180
Get you those stats.
participants, which was a 40% increase. That would be great to actually document in that PowerPoint, just so that the public sees the great work that you guys are doing.
We appreciate that, and we'll get that to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. With that, we're going to move on to the Integrated Waste Management Local Area Task Force member announcements. Do we have any announcements?
I don't have any.
I don't have any announcements either, sorry. And I wasn't able to attend your Recycle Day event, but I heard it was very successful, especially in the riverbed. So that's really great news. That tonnage is another thing that's a great highlight. I think you said 10,000 tons. That's a huge number to tell people about. So we're going to move on to public comment for items that are not on the agenda.
Okay. The Integrated Waste Management Local Task Force encourages your participation at this meeting and welcomes your comments. Speakers are requested to state their name prior to speaking to the committee. Not more than 3 minutes may be allotted to each speaker and no more than 20 minutes to each subject, unless otherwise extended or limited by the chair. A speaker's allotted time cannot be deferred to another speaker. Committee members may question the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2, no action or discussion shall be undertaken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. If appropriate, the chair or any committee member may direct that a matter be referred to Integrated Waste Management staff to review. If you are participating on Zoom, select the Participants tab and click to raise your hand icon. If you are using a phone, press *9 to raise your hand. When your turn arrives, you will hear that you have been unmuted. At this time, state your first name, last name, and county you reside in for the record. And there is no public comment.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so that moves us to presentations. We're going to go to item 1, which is receive a presentation on Recology San Benito County Quarterly Update.
And I'd like to invite up Adrian Sagoon, Zero Waste Manager with Recology.
Good afternoon. Good to see you again, since we ran into each other earlier. Just to report again for Q3 of this year, our highlights. Obviously, start off with the important numbers, the general numbers, where we're talking about our diversion, which we're always focused on. We spoke since we always bring up since the first time we met. But the Hollister, we were at 39.72% diversion. San Juan, 44.64%. The unincorporated San Benito County, 36.52, and then the overall was 37.51. And again, I'll point out, Jose, that San Juan's still leading the pack.
That's right.
Still the winner.
Just so you guys know.
Yeah. It looks like the unincorporated is catching up slightly from where we were. We've increased slightly. Okay.
It's getting better. We're going in the right direction. And I know previously I had mentioned that you brought up Morales and wanting to see statistics. And knowing what one of the things that this means when we look at our diversion, the amount diverted going away from the landfill and actually going to our compost facility, the tonnage is about 3,400 tons, which is about 1.6 tons of greenhouse gases that are avoided being released for 3 months for that quarter. For our residential, we continue our tagging for high contamination, making sure that, and then we receive a call, my team, the Way Zero, and we make sure to go out and speak with the residents and give them information, go over education, and leave them to help them make sure that they're no longer contaminating. They're sorting their garbage correctly. Our print and digital ads, we continue to send out. Social media presence has increased. It's been increasing. I think collaboration with Integrated Waste Management and tagging each other. And I know currently moving forward, we're looking to partner even more with the Chamber of Commerce, who has here in San Benito County to boost up our social media presence as well. Bill inserts, monthly bill inserts that work together again with Integrated Waste Management to decide what is important, pertinent information that needs to go out. Obviously, alternating residential and commercial every other month. Focusing on quick responses to customers, making sure we get back with any feedback, information that they may need. And then our newsletters highlighting, again, businesses that are doing things right. I think rather than just tagging people and letting them know what they're doing wrong. We want to make sure that we're also highlighting businesses and residents that are doing things correctly, which we have a lot of here in San Benito County. Our Waste Zero team, focusing on, for our commercial highlights, visited, in just the last 3 months, visited 169 different businesses individually. They did 44 waste assessments, meaning they sat down with the business and was able to go and create a form and show them what the difference would be if, either adding organics, making some type of a change. And again, 10 new organic starts, and, when we look at, SB 1383, continuing early compliance, R3 was here and gave a great explanation of that early compliance. And they mentioned that, we have that, we are not quite being forced to do it quite yet, right? We're still working on the early compliance, and it's showing. We're getting every quarter we have new organic starts, so we're hoping to continue that trend. Again, the member agency departments are still most in the 75% diversion rate. I know Integrated Waste Management and our team are working on doing trainings currently with different agency departments. And then again, AB 341, just mandatory recycling, everybody's in 100% compliance. Community events and outreach. This year, Hollister, the Independence Rally. So last minute, kind of put together, but it was, it was great. We were really fortunate to be a part of it and to be able to put together, to help the planning of this event, to make sure that not only it's a great event, but that there isn't a mess when everybody leaves and, the motorcycles are gone. So it went relatively smoothly. I think it went well. And then obviously we have the Hollister Street Festival and car show that happens in the summer. We have the farmer's market. We were there as well. Jose, we'll probably stop by San Juan's too this year. We also have the Bluegrass Festival, which is a 5-day event that happens out at the Hollister Historical Park. And then San Juan Day, it's another good one. And then Aromas Day, which if you haven't been, I recommend everybody go out there. That's a fun, great community.
I have not gone. I'll have to do that next year.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah, it's a good time. And let's see, so donations and in-kind services for the quarter for the third quarter of 2025 was just over 11,000 in-kind services and donations. As you can see, this is before they're filled. The calm before the storm at our events. And underway and coming up, our 2025 to 2026 theme is Race to Zero Waste. January environmental days, we'll have those again. Those are the next environmental days that we have coming up. Will be at the end of January. Obviously, the first will be at Brigantino Park in Hollister, and then the following weekend will be in San Juan at the school. And we did send out one of our last residential bill insert. Did have all the events. It's a schedule with all the events that both Recology and Integrated Waste Management, the free events that we offer throughout the year. So they are set. Free Christmas tree pickup. Our program starts right after Christmas. For those that do not keep their tree till July, like some of my friends, their 4th of July trees. And then we have the Save the Whales workshops again that have continued, and as Lori mentioned, right? And then we have our poster contest, which again, one of my favorites, that'll be starting in January. We'll start going out to schools. We're partnering this year with the new downtown the Hollister Artisans Mercantile. Will be helping us with those workshops and going to school. And actually, we're excited because they'll also be holding at least one in their facility as well. We're trying to focus also on the homeschooled students. We try to get, obviously, our focus is always to get more participation for these events. So we're excited. And this year we'll be showing the art out in San Juan. So
That's great.
Thank you very much, and I'll.
Okay, before we bring it back, let's open it up to public comment.
No public comment.
Okay, and there's nobody on Zoom? Nope. Okay. With that, we're going to thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
No questions or comments. Just thank you for everything, all the in-kind services and everything you guys do. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate all the stats and the numbers. It really shows how much work you guys are all putting into this, and you can see it is making a difference. The one thing that I'm realizing is that I need to get more active in the cleanup days, because we still have a lot of debris on the sides of the roads and stuff. So I will hopefully be a little more active in this next year, trying to recruit people. I have a few people that have inspired me from other counties that have actually created nonprofits to help with this trash cleanup on the side of the road. So I'm going to bring some of that information to the staff to be able to see what's happened in other counties. So, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we're going to move on to item number 2, which is the landfill disposal capacity update.
And so tonight we have Sangeeta Lewis with Lewis Engineering, and she is joining us on Zoom. And Sangeeta, can you make it so she can, are you here, Sangeeta?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, just let me know when you want me to go through the slides. If we could have the presentation up.
Sure.
Take it away, Sangeeta.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. Hopefully this will just be a brief little overview of the remaining airspace and the work we've been doing as far as finding disposal options for the county's waste once the landfill closes. So this map is of the landfill. The boundary in black is the footprint of the landfill. Everything within that black boundary is refuse. And it's hard to see, I'm sure, on this figure, but the tannish colored areas are the areas that are generally still available for refuse disposal. There are some areas on the slopes, but as of April of 2025, there's about 1.36 million cubic yards of waste capacity remaining. The current elevation in April was about 850 feet. And it is the maximum height of that landfill is at about 915 feet. So there is still some definitely elevation to be filled in, and we're estimating a closure date of May of 2036. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. So as part of our work over the last year or so of evaluating disposal options for the county, the staff did look at other facilities in the region. We spoke with the staff from those facilities, and the map just is, of course, hard to read, but just kind of identifies the landfills, transfer stations in the region. We did identify 2 landfills that could potentially take San Benito County waste, and we'll further pursue those alternatives as we get further down the process. The next slide, please. So to be able to transfer the waste, we need to develop transfer stations, and we looked at 2 options for transfer stations in the county. The first one is at the entrance facility of the existing John Smith landfill. If you've been to the landfill, you know it's not a very big area. The transfer station that is shown here in the rectangular box with the hash lines is located on the current stormwater pond area of the landfill. You can kind of see the scales on the right side, and the entryway, the ramps from John Smith Road up to the scales. So the traffic and queuing for this transfer station location are pretty limited. There is a lot of retaining walls that need to be built to make this work. And there's a limited area for recycling abilities on the site. So there's another site that we also looked at. If you could go to the next slide. This site is located to the south of the existing landfill, about a mile down the road. As you can see, the transfer station is the rectangular box shown kind of in the middle. On the bottom portion, there is quite a length of traffic queuing ability. There's scales that are on the left side, and then there's scales that are on the right side of the diagram to create a one-way traffic pattern to expedite, processing through the facility. There is an ability to have a lot of resource recovery activity that could occur on this facility. So a bigger site, a bigger building, and more options for the county with this location. So these designs are both conceptual. Staff did speak with a couple of third-party specialists in transfer station design, got some insights, and we'll be presenting those to the Board of Supervisors shortly. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you so much. Let's open it up to public comment.
We have no public comments.
Okay, with that, do you have any questions for Sangeeta?
No questions or comments. Thank you for the presentation.
My questions are going to revolve around costs, but I'm assuming when we do the board presentation, we'll have more information about the cost differences. And I'm assuming after speaking with staff that this will be a presentation coming at the first quarter of next year or sooner. Yeah? Just so the public's aware.
We did talk to, we actually contracted a company that specializes in transfer station design, and they gave us some insights on the cost. And there was another contractor who does a lot of transfer station work who we also spoke with. It's, somewhat difficult at this point to get a very accurate cost in the sense that these designs are very conceptual in nature, but we should be able to get a ballpark that we can present next quarter.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, with that, we're going to move on to item number 3, which is review the IWM Regional Agency quarterly expenditures. And we have 2 different performance reports.
I'd like to call up Integrated Waste Manager, Selena Stotler.
Moment.
I don't see them up here. Did you leave them with me? Underneath? No? Nope. I don't have that. Nope, I don't think I have them. Roll with it.
We'll
You can
just
do
roll
this.
with it. Okay, I am here today. Good evening, local task force, to provide you with the quarterly review of the expenditures for the regional agency. As a reminder, this local task force reviews actual expenditures at least quarterly to make recommendations to our governing bodies on any actual or anticipated over expenditures. This slide represents the adopted budget for our expenses, which is approximately 1.7 million, and for the actual expenses to date is approximately 340,200. And before you, we provided copies of the budget performance report, which includes the revenue that you had requested in one of our last meetings, and then also the actual expenditures, a detailed general ledger report. And copies are here at the dais if anyone from the public would like to see those. They're also attached to the agenda. And detailed on this slide are the services, supplies, other charges, as well as the salary and benefits. Okay, now for regional agency revenue, what you see here is the revenue received directly to the regional agency. It is going to be a slightly different than what you see on the budget performance report, the total for revenue, because that also includes the county's reimbursement from the cities and the county for regional agency expenses, which we bill to each member agency. And that the revenue you see on this slide includes the grants from CalRecycle that we receive and any other grants outside of CalRecycle at $249,000. It also includes recology revenue specific to the regional agency, which includes household hazardous waste revenue and the recycle day revenue. Miscellaneous is our MRC grant funding or reimbursement funding, excuse me. And any of this revenue is deducted from total expenses from the regional agency. So we're not billing the county and the cities for these programmatic costs. Okay, I'm happy to answer any questions related to the reports or to the presentation.
With that, before we bring it back to us for questions, let's open it up to public comment.
We have no public comments.
Okay, with that, any questions before I ask some of my questions?
I'm actually good. No questions or comments. Thank you for the presentation.
So overall, it looks like that we're within budget right now on our expenditures, but our revenues on the actual performance budget report are not fully showing because we haven't received all of the reimbursement, or not reimbursement, but the payments from the jurisdictions. Am I reading that correct?
So that's a great question. We have not received the reimbursements for this fiscal year. We have not yet billed for last fiscal year's costs. So those, once we bill for fiscal year 24-25, that reimbursement will show in this report here. And then the grants, I think it says the total, if you look at page 3 of the budget performance report, revenue received to date is $31,545. This does not account for yet our city county payment program grant that usually is awarded in April. Neither does it include our OPP grant, oil payment program grant from CalRecycle. That's approximately, both of these grants I just mentioned are approximately $25,000 to $20,000. And then the HHW revenue that we're receiving from Recology, that's roughly, I believe we budgeted $280,000. You'll see that on page 2. We've only received Q1 to date. And so technically it's Q3 of 2025. So we'll continue to see that revenue come in on a quarterly basis from Recology. And the SB 1383 grant, you'll notice nothing received. That funding was actually provided to the county about 2 years ago. And so what we need to do now is have ESME
Transfer in.
that. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. That was my next question. So you already answered my next question, which is the transfer in that needs to happen. But so you said the billing for 24-25. So that would be the jurisdictions, both cities being billed, because are we like closing books for 24-25 already? Are they fully prepared to understand that those bills are coming?
So I wish Esme was here because she's our report expert here and actually helps pull these reports for our team. I do want to retract what I just said about this report reflecting last year's. I believe they do a budget adjustment right before the end of the year.
Okay.
And Kuro, you speak this language,
Yep.
so maybe you can rephrase it. But the money that should have been received last year as revenue for the billing would be estimated and then accounted for last year. Any difference would be shown this fiscal year.
Right.
We would do a similar process
Right.
at the end of the
So you have
fiscal year.
what you estimated last year and what comes in last year's fiscal year budget. And then if there is extra, that comes into this year and then gets added into this year's. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. I know some of these reports are not the easiest to fully understand, but they're the reality of where we're at right now. So as long as we're showing that those revenues are going to be coming in, I don't want the public or the members up here to be concerned that we don't have the revenues when we're already halfway through a fiscal year. It's coming. It hasn't been transferred.
Correct. And you'll see on
That was
page
my only
one,
point.
it's charges for services. You'll see Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and even the county unincorporated, it's charges for services reimbursement, SBC, or regional agency. You'll see a negative amount there, and that is the difference from last fiscal year. We estimated, but additional came through. I mentioned we did not bill yet for fiscal year 425, this is actually the payment you're seeing from, we were late billing and we're trying to catch up. We anticipate last year's bills to come in. We're going to probably bill out before the end of the year, at the latest January.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that the jurisdictions are not blindsided, because it always seems like we're a little later than everyone else, and that's my only concern. But I appreciate the update and the report. Do we have any additional questions? No? Okay, with that, I believe that is the end of our agenda for today, unless we have anything else from staff.
We just want to thank you from Integrated Waste Management to our LTF members. We want to thank you for a great year and thank you for your service. And we hope that you all three will come back next year.
Yes, we have to ask for that appointment. Ours doesn't work that way. We don't know who our chair is, so I will be requesting to whomever our future chair is for the board if I can stay on this, because I know we're going through some changes fiscally with, how we're reporting stuff and contract management and stuff, but I see a future here that is bright, and you guys have done so much work. I just want to thank each and every one of you. Recology, thank you so much for everything that you've done. I wish everyone the happiest of holidays, and remember to recycle even more during your holiday trash periods, because during the holidays we make a lot more trash than any other time of the year. So just remember to recycle when available. So
Yeah,
that's my only comment.
last question. Can I recycle gift wrapping or wrapping paper? What is the
What's the rule on that?
rule on that?
It's like if it has too much tape, it's not
Yeah,
acceptable.
Recology can come up here to correct me in any way if needed, but all that shiny gift wrapping paper, especially when it's mixed materials, unfortunately that is garbage. When it's just, plain, if you've seen that kind of craft paper looking wrapping, that could be put in your recycling or your organics cart. If you home compost, you can put it in your home composting bin, backyard composting bin. Ribbons, recommend reusing those. It's always,
I have a huge box
Me
and a
too,
drawer.
me
I mean, I'm
too.
sorry. I've got ribbons that are 15 years old that I'm still using.
And I save all my, gift bags as long as they're not wrinkled. I just reuse them because those things are like $5, $6 a piece.
And you just
now.
put a label over the people that put a
Yes.
label on it so that they never know that you're reusing the bag. Yeah.
Bubble wrap as well. That's garbage
Got it.
or reuse.
Bubble wrap is garbage. You can't recycle bubble wrap. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
that may be a future agenda item, maybe we do this for next
Presentation.
year, like maybe in November, a reminder about how we recycle during the holidays, because that is an area where, I'm sorry,
yeah,
I just am
screwed
not,
up. I'm
I
sorry.
struggle.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. We've been meeting, Lori and I, talking about what education outreach we'll be doing for the holidays. So you'll definitely, if you follow us on social media, you'll see some posts on
Sure.
how to recycle for not only your Christmas tree, gift wrapping, but also other holiday tips.
That's wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for
And with that, we're going to adjourn. It is 6:50, and everybody have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you.